Welcome to the Norris Group Real Estate Podcast, a show committed to bringing you insights from thought leaders shaping the real estate industry. In each episode, we'll dive into conversations with industry experts and local insiders, all aimed at helping you thrive in an ever-changing real estate market, continuing the legacy that Bruce Norris created, sharing valuable knowledge, and empowering you on your real estate journey. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a newcomer, this is your go-to source for insider tips, market trends, and success strategies. Here's your host, Craig Evans.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us for part 2 with Jason Medley from Collective Genius. When and why did you start the Collective Genius?
So I started CG back in 2010, if I recall correctly. And if I'm being honest, I started it as a side hustle, right? I had my core lending business. I had a transactional funding business. And, you know, I was part of a mastermind that was all about marketing. And I realized I could just invite my customers that I was lending the most money to, that were doing the most deals, stick them in a room. And they were from all over the country. They're not really in each other's backyards. And so they would, share their systems, their strategies, their resources, come in and do presentations on how they're doing what they're doing, right? Because here's the deal. Write this down if you're new and listening. Hell, if you're older and listening, if you got experience and no experience, write this down, right? Like, there aren't a lot of secrets, if any. There's only ruthless, relentless execution. So that means getting it done right, getting it done quickly. And so that's really the ultimate goal of a mastermind, right? Like, you may get to a point where you're like, hey, I did 5 rehabs last year, made 30 G's on each of them, made 150 grand. And, each one of them took me, 72 days on average to rehab. And you got somebody out there who's down at doing them at 20 days. And you think, okay, well, they are executing better than me. Not only are they executing, but how much money did they save getting that house on the market 52 days sooner than I did it? All the debt service, all the carrying cost, okay, so let me get this right. I'm going to come to this group, and I'm going to sit next to someone who gets their rehabs on the market in 52 days less than I do, and they're going to show me, because I'm in Tampa and they're in Oklahoma City. They're going to show me how they've done that, how they systematized that process. And now, wait a minute, if I can do that once and save all that money and then do it on all my rehabs, how much more money am I going to put in my pocket by expediting that, right? And wait a minute, after I met the guy, he told me that they've also managed to reduce their cost overruns on each rehab by 24%. Whoa. 4 out of 5 of my rehabs all went over. Right. I can't wait to get to know this individual. And the best part about it is he only rehabs. He doesn't do any wholesaling, and I'm doing like 300 wholesale deals a year. And so when he gives me all that information, I'm going to share with him how, because he's buying everything at the auction, I'm going to share with him how to generate his own leads. Now, instead of him making 50 grand on a rehab, he's going to start making 70 because he generates. Right. So you just get this dynamic exchange of information between members, and it's not just information. It is, there are houses being bought, houses being sold. There's money being lent, money being borrowed. There's somebody who's got a piece of land, and then there's another person who does ground up construction, self-storage. And the one guy says, I got the land, you got the construction expertise and self-storage. Let's come together and do a joint venture or partnership, right? So it's just really exciting when you get driven A players together who are intelligent and enjoy connecting with other human beings. It is nothing short of magic. It's like anything else. It takes an investment. It takes some time. It's a commitment, but it can, for the right person at the right time, being a part of any mastermind, as long as there's a high caliber individual in there, can be a very marked moment in time in your career.
So We were kind of joking about it earlier on, Jason, that you say you're now the chief connector, not the CEO.
Okay.
So for those listening, tell them what you were telling me about that and how your mind kind of wraps through that process.
Sure. So it's not just me. We have a staff full of people on our team, to where when we have our events, we do what we call forced connection, if you will, right? And forced connection is, say, for example, the room that you were sitting in, Craig. There's a gentleman in there named Lon Welsh, and he has a fund that he's looking to raise capital for. And when he gets up and talks about that fund, right, I know of members in our organization that are looking for the type of return that his fund yields and looking to just write a check and get a check. And so when Lon is talking about that, I say, Lon, I'm going to connect you with Clint Flowers. I'm going to connect you with Damon Lyons. I'm going to connect you with these people. I'm going to tell them a little bit about what you're doing. And then you guys can do a Zoom call, whatever you need to do, in order to see if they're interested in investing in your fund. Or Ken Majmadar might get up and say, hey, I'm doing an apartment to office conversion in York, PA, and I need to raise $2.2 million in equity. And I can connect him with people in, like a Jason Byrne might say, I'm super interested in that deal. You're offering 2 points, 12%, and it's only 6 months long. I'm super interested in that deal. I say, okay, I'll make sure that you all get connected. And so we literally, when we come together at our events, I can show you spreadsheet after spreadsheet after spreadsheet, where when people are talking about the things that they need in their business, which can be information, or it can be capital, or whatever. We are documenting, okay, I'm going to put them with this person and put them with that. And then we literally come behind them at the events and physically, through text and email, introduce them with a recap of why we did so. And that is what makes the magic happen for everybody.
So you started, and I love to hear, especially seeing what CG is now. I love to hear, and it's so cool to hear that it started as a side hustle, trying to make a buck,
Yep.
So, but how do you see that Collective Genius has changed since you founded it? What do you think it did? What do you think the biggest change is since you founded it?
Gosh, the biggest change in me, or the business, or like, come down at the bottom of the funnel for me a little bit on that.
Yeah, in the direction of what CG was in 2010 to what CG is now. What is the biggest change that you see that's taken place for it?
Yeah, that's an easy question. So when I first started CG, we catered to a very, very high level investor, right? And for probably 8 or 9 of the 12 or 13 years we've been around, we had one product for one caliber of individual, and that was it. And I had a foothold on that, a stronghold on it, and was super concerned that if we went outside of those boundaries, that we would lose the reputation that we had developed around, like, hey man, like that's the top of the heap right there.
Right.
But as I got to the point where I was like, okay, there's going to be a lid on the business if we just do that. And I actually want to grow this business. And so here's a great business tip as well. When you are marketing or advertising or word of mouthing for a very high level product or consumer, over time, you will begin to generate a lot of leads for the consumers who are beneath who you're marketing for in their journey as entrepreneurs. And so we already had the leads of our next product. The people that filled it, they were already coming in. They just didn't qualify at the time, right?
Yeah.
And so the biggest change was we came out of that and started to build a full product suite Like right now, our premier level, you need to be doing at least 100 plus transactions a year, or you got to be running a $3 million business. And then, our select level, which was our second product, was, you got to be anywhere between like 500 to 3 million or 750 to 3 million. And then our elevate product is 250 to like 750. And then we recently came back. We started at the top, went down. Now we recently came back and went even higher with our CG CEO, which is, for high net worth individuals that typically have a net worth of at least $15+ million, or running a $10 million business, or can show a consistent pattern of earning $2 million a year. So the biggest change was, when I started the business, it was just going to be this one product, and that was going to be it. I was scared to kind of, build an ascension path, if you will.
Yep.
Finally, once we made the shift, I turned this little cute little decent little business into now what's turning into a pretty good size little monster.
Well, and Jason, the thing is, it's a phenomenal organization, phenomenal group. I mean, the thing that I loved about walking in was people were just collaborating and talking. There weren't a lot of egos. I love that you guys get up and within the first 10 minutes of starting the week, you're like, hey, check your egos at the door, in essence, there's no room for that here,
Always.
I love that, because boy, in the real estate world, man, people always want to try to prove that they're the bigger dog on the street, and thumping their chest. And man, that was honestly, Jason, it was really refreshing to walk in the room and to see that kind of mantra that's not who we are, so you've done a lot with CG. What is, and you just kind of laid out what some of the stuff is growing and how you're creating a vertical ascension path, really not just to grab more people, but to also, I mean, if I see that right, I mean, hey, that's a great way to take that person that's 250 to 750 and say, now let's help you figure out how to grow and scale, and not just to be in a different level of our platform, but you become a better person and a better business operator. And so you've laid that out, but what is your vision for the future of Collective Genius? If you could pick one thing, what do you think that would be?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I enjoy the most, like you said, it's not just about, let's get some more members. The thing for me that I fundamentally get the most joy out of is being a catalyst in people's lives. Emails all the time, text messages where people are saying, man, I just can't thank the Collective Genius, your squad. I can't thank you guys enough, because, when I came in, I was here and now I'm here. And it's not just here from a money perspective, but, who I am, my level of intentionality in regards to who I am as a man, as a woman, as a mother, as a father, as a spouse, as a leader, that is my paycheck. Of course I like making money. I certainly don't want to stop making money, but I'm also at a point in my life at almost 53 years old where more of it is really not going to change a whole lot, right?
Yep.
Not going to change a whole lot. So I love being a catalyst. That's probably my best paycheck, if you will. And, if I was going to talk about the future of CG, I don't see an end in mind. I think we've got plenty of new products to launch. We kind of started out initially largely in the single family space, if you will, wholesaling, flipping, landlording, etc. And now I'm really excited about CEO and scaling that. But I envision, as we continue to grow, we will launch new verticals, right? Not just levels in single family, whether you're 28 and 3 years on the field, or you're in, 58 and, been on the field 30 years and got $1 gazillion. Not just different levels, but new verticals where we say, okay, we're going to build what we did in the single family space in the multifamily space. We're going to build what we did in the single family space in the self-storage space. We're going to, right? And so I just really can continue to see the expansion of different verticals in the future, and really, really excited about giving the people on my team the same opportunities that the business has given me in the last, 12 to 15 years. That too is probably my biggest joy at the moment is helping them advance financially and helping them grow on all fronts. And so at this stage of my life, I'm definitely becoming more conscious than ever that there is no destination. It's just a journey, if you will. And so I don't have a stopping point per se. As long as God continues to bless me and people continue to join the Collective Genius, we're going to just keep trucking right along.
Well, listen, first of all, Jason, I know we're all busy and we're literally 2 days before Christmas. And so I am so grateful for you taking out of your time and time away from business and family and everything else that we've all got going. But, you mentioned joining Collective Genius. So in closing out, I really want to give you, and I know you've got Leon and some great people that do a great thing for CG and do that. But, tell our audience, listen, they want to learn about CG. How do they get involved? How do they get that information from you?
Sure. There's a couple things that you can do. You can go to thecollectivegenius.com, and right at the top, it'll give you a breakdown to tell you to kind of choose where your business is at. Are you 250 to 750? Are you 750 to 3 million? Or we have our different levels there. When you click your level, it'll kind of take you on the right path to educate you a little bit more about what that particular community looks like. If you want to kind of see some behind the scenes of an event, you can go to dominatethedownturn.com, dominatethedownturn.com. And we kind of use that domain because like right now, the real estate market has slowed from a volume perspective. Rates continue to be stubbornly high. And so there's a new set of challenges that we didn't have, 24, 36 months ago. And so, but if you're around the right people, and you know how to execute, you will eat other people's lunch during times like these. And so that's why we call it Dominate the Downturn. So again, collectivegenius.com, kind of pick your level. If you're at the CEO level, that's not something that we really advertise. If you're at that top of the heap, you're a high net worth person in the real estate game, that's not something we really advertise. But if that's you, you can click on the premier level button on our one page. You can complete an app there, and it'll go to the right person based on the data that you put in there. But we are not just, as you said earlier, Craig, not just looking for members. We are looking for good people, good men, good women who are dedicated to really advancing all facets of their life. And so it's great if you have financial qualifications or deal flow qualifications, but we're looking for people who really want to be intentional about everything else too.
For all of our audience listening, I can tell you, you want to be a part of a group that's unique and special in what they do. Collective Genius is a phenomenal, as Jason said, a phenomenal group of people, very intelligent, high level at what they do, but phenomenal group of people. So, Jason, man, listen, I can't, again, I've probably said that a ton. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your commitment to jump on and do it. Look forward to seeing you in 2025 and all that brings. Okay. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
For more information on hard money loans, trust deed investing, and upcoming events with the Norris Group, check out thenorrisgroup.com. For more information on passive investing through the DBL Capital Real Estate Investment Fund, please visit dblcapital.com.
The Norris Group originates and services loans in California and Florida under the California DRE license 01219911, Florida Mortgage Lender license 1577, and NMLS license 1623669. For more information on hard money lending, go to thenorrisgroup.com and click the hard money tab.